Her father loved me, oft invited me, still questioned me the story of my life. From year to year the battles, sieges, fortunes that I have passed, I ran it through, even from my boyish days, to the very moment that he bade me tell it, wherein I spoke of most disastrous chances, of moving accidents by flood and field, of hairbreadth escapes in the imminent deadly branch, of being taken by the insolent foe, and sold to slavery, of my redemption thence, and portage in my travels history, wherein of Anta's vast and desert's isle, rough quarries, rocks, and hills whose heads touch heaven, it was my hint to speak, such was the process, and of the cannibals that of each other eat, the anthropophagi, and men whose heads do grow beneath their shoulders. This to hear would Desdemona seriously incline, but still the house affairs would draw her thence. Whichever she could with haste dispatch, she'd come again, and with a greedy ear devour my discourse, which I, observing, took once a pliant hour, and found good means to draw from her a prayer of earnest heart, that I would all by my pilgrimage dilate, whereof by parcels she had something heard, but not attentively. I did consent, and often did beguile her tears, and often did beguile her of her tears, when I did speak of some distressful stroke that of my youth suffered. My story being done, she gave me for my pains a world of sighs. She swore, I faith 'twas strange, 'twas passing strange, 'twas pitiful, 'twas wondrous pitiful. She wished she had not heard it, yet she wished that heaven had made her such a man. She thanked me, and bade me, if I had a friend that loved her, I should but teach him how to tell my story, and that would woo her. Upon this hint I spake. She loved me for the dangers I had passed, and I loved her that she did pity them. This only is the witchcraft I have used. Here comes the lady, let her witness it. Have at you then, affections, men-at-arms, consider what you first did swear unto, to fast, to study, and to see no woman, flat treason against the kingly state of youth. Say, can you fast? Your stomachs are too young, and abstinence engenders maladies. Oh, we have made a vow to study, lords, and in that vow we have forsworn our books. For when would you, my liege, or you, in leaden contemplation have found out such fiery numbers as the prompting eyes of beauty's tutors have enriched you with? Others slow arts entirely keep the brain, and therefore finding the barren practices scarce show a harvest of their heavy toil. But love, first learned in a lady's eyes, lives not alone immured in the brain, but with the motion of all elements, causes as swift as thought in every power, and gives to every power a double power. Above their functions and their offices, it adds a precious seeing to the eye. A lover's eyes will gaze in an eagle blind. A lover's ear will hear the lowest sound. When the suspicious head of theft is stopped, love's feelings is more soft and sensible than are the tender horns of a cockled snails. Love's tongue proves dainty, Bacchus gross in taste. For valor is not love a Hercules, still climbing trees in the Hesperides? Subtle as a sphinx, as sweet and musical as bright Apollo's lute, strung with his hair. And when love speaks, the voice of all the gods make heaven drowsy with the harmony. Never dost poet touch a pen to write until his ink were tempered with love's sighs. Oh, then his lines would ravish savage ears, and plant in tyrants mild humility. From women's eyes this doctrine I derive. They sparkle still the right Promethean fire. They are the books, they arts, the academes, that show, contain, and nourish all the world. Else none at all in art proves excellent. Then fools you were these women to forswear, or keeping what is sworn you will prove fools. For wisdom's sake, a word that all men love, or for love's sake, a word that loves all men, or for men's sake, the authors of these women, or women's sake, by whom we men are men. Let us once lose our oaths to find ourselves, or else we lose ourselves to keep our oaths. It is religion to be thus forsworn, for charity itself fulfills the law, and who can sever the love from charity? Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all, and another storm brewing, I hear it sing I the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by the painfuls. What have we here, a man or a fish, dead or alive? A fish? He smells like a fish, a very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of not of the newest Paul John, a strange fish. Were I in England now, as I once was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday fool thou, but would give a piece of silver. Thou would this monster make a man, any strange beast that makes a man. When they will not give a doit to relieve a vain beggar, they will lay out 10 to see a dead Indian, legged like a man, and his fins like arms. Warm, O my troth, I do now let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud to the dregs of the storm be past. Dr. John.